Hey, what's up? What's going on, Holy Culture family? What's up, positive people? It's B+, and you are tuning into a very special edition of today's show. You know, it is time for Bodega Talk, and today is a special edition of Bodega Talk. We have the man that's behind the scenes. You know what it is when you hear that 9-5 drop. We have produced by 1995 in the building. Say what's up to the people.
What's up, guys? I'm glad to be here. Chop it up. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. I know for you, it was a late notice, man. So happy that you're hopping on here. And then let's go ahead and switch gears and bounce past it over to DJ Mykael V. You've seen him with No Big Deal, Lecrae, KB, Dude Perfect, the list goes on and on. But he is right here on Holy Culture Radio today. DJ Mykael V, say what's up to the family.
What is up, Holy Culture fam? I'm happy to be on Bodega Talk, and I'm happy to be here with 95 and DJ B+. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, this is gonna be great. So just so much that I want to talk about. We are gonna go through song by song later on in the conversation, but I kind of want to kick things off with a tweet, or I guess what do we call them now? A post by Scribe Music. So Scribe Music, I'm gonna go ahead and throw that up for our viewing audience. They can see that on the screen. So Scribe had this post about a week or so ago now, just talking about how, in his opinion, he feels like DJ Mykael V, he feels like you are carrying the torch that DJ Official, that he just kind of lit a flame back in the early 2000s. And he was just saying that you are more than a producer, a curator, a DJ. You're moving in the apostolic mindset to build the kingdom and gather the hearts, minds, and gifts of believers for the kingdom. And he goes on to encourage you and admonish you to go on in your calling. So I like to take opportunities to, as best I can, to educate people of like who DJ Official is for those who don't know. So, and the connection between DJ Official and DJ Mykael V. So, quick history: DJ Official, DJ for Cross Move Records, touched a lot of the songs that we know from like the early 2000s. But he had a project that came out, and let me make sure I have the date right. This was 15 years ago, so this is 2009. So he had a project called Intermission. Do you guys remember that?
I mean, I don't think I was a Christian at this point.
Yeah, I wasn't saved yet, but like I got around to it at some point, like digging into Christian hip hop catalog. I definitely seen
me.
Yeah, that's super dope. That's super dope. So it has a lot of, like, if you look at it on the surface, it kind of mirrors Bodega. So I actually found this old interview clip of DJ Official, and I want to play that really quick for you guys.
So what I wanted to do is get a whole bunch of friends together, a very diverse group, and just show what it meant to be missional in every setting, what it meant to be missional through different styles of music, what it meant to be missional in different areas of the country, and I think Intermission kind of communicated that. So I want to get people excited about being missional. I want people to be excited about after this, almost like Lecrae's song "Send Me Out." I want people after they finish this album to be like, "Send me, Lord," not just being missions overseas, but being missions around your neighborhood and stuff like that. I don't mean to repeat myself over and over, but I do want people to be excited to be to shine a light of Christ in every area of life, whether it be home, whether it be a blog, church, whatever, a job, to your family. I want people to be really excited about, hey man, these guys are really speaking about what it means to be on mission for the Lord, and I want people to be excited about that. So yeah, that's really what I want to communicate with the album Intermission.
What a goat.
It really is dope, just because, like, obviously there's that New York connection, but also just like his heart behind what he was doing with Intermission. It seems like there are some parallels. And Mykael, I know you mentioned a couple times in the parts where you're flexing before and after songs, you mentioned about this being a world. You mentioned this being a culture. You mentioned this being a movement. So just talk really quickly just about the idea of Bodega.
So I had come up with this after the first tribal council that we had for any tribe. Is when 95, like, it was for what was it? It was for Upper Hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got inspired, man. Like I have been dropping so many singles and stuff, and I I never had like an album, and I always wanted to. And then talking with 95, just being in community for that week with him, I had always wanted to work with him because for those who don't know, 95 is like a legendary producer. He's produced for Dream Junkies, John Gibbs, Belief. Like his production credits are crazy. So when I this is gonna sound crazy, but when I was coming up, he was at a place where I was like, oh, this guy is, I want to work with him one day.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, we also connected even before we did anything.
Yeah, like we were friends for a minute before.
Yeah, our Google Hangouts with Antoine Bradford
and Partek and all them.
2013, like
yeah. So we had connected, but it was never like in person. We finally met in person, and I just felt the need, bro. If I'm being honest, I felt like music was stagnant within our space. I felt like everybody was doing the 808 thing, and I just felt like our space didn't really have variety at that specific time. And I remember talking to 95, I'm like, bro, like, dog, we love boom bap. We come from this. Like, what is a way that we can do something for the people, for the culture, to like bring something to the Christian space that I feel like is needed that we don't have? And he was on board from like the jump. He was like, yo, nah, this is crazy. Yeah, it was just insane. And my heart behind it really was I wanted to not only bring variety, but I wanted to show people that being a Christian and doing music is not like a one trick thing when it comes to everybody's just following the sound of the mainstream. I'm like, yo, we can do what we want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying me and him brought like I'm not saying me and him like created boom bap or nobody was doing this before. I'm just saying that we chose to do it at a high level.
Yeah. And definitely, and y'all definitely have been doing that. So another thing that's really quickly took a quick callback to what you guys are doing with Bodega, then also what DJ Official was doing with Intermission. I actually went back and listened to Intermission maybe a week or so ago, and there's two artists that were on Intermission and Bodega. So two artists. So you guys want to take a guess? I mean, one of them is obvious.
I feel like Lecrae definitely.
Yeah. So
yeah.
What do you think the other one is?
Swift? Is it R Swift?
Yeah, it's R Swift.
Yeah,
nice.
Go.
Yeah, and Swoop was bubbling up around that time. But yeah, so it's R Swift and Lecrae. So the albums, the themes, but also we have a couple artists that are connected between the two. So, did you guys know back when you guys were working? I guess when Mykael, when you approached 95 about the tribal council and wanting to work on an album, did you guys know that it was going to be like a thing that where people were going to want a part two, and it was going to like really catch on like this?
Nah, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Me and him had no. I mean, 95 can speak for himself, but I know for me personally, I did not know that it was gonna go up the way it did. Like, because it went up. We won Album of the Year that year.
Yeah,
so it was like, it was just very wild. Like to even think about, like, yo, like people really love this world that we're creating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honestly, I just thought it'd be a dope thing. Like when he brought the idea to me, like, yeah, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? We both come from it. Let's make something like that. But like me, honestly, I didn't think people would receive it the way they received it. You know, because people like the 808, the hype, the trap. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was a surprise to me too. Like the first one caught me by surprise. Like after we did it, I was like, that's crazy. Like people are actually like listening to it.
Yeah. But like even like as you guys are like working through and we'll get into Bodega too, and we could probably do some Bodega one for real. But like, did you like after you had it done, had all the masters in, was there a moment where you were just kind of like, this is really good, but I'm not sure if it's going to connect, or were you just kind of like,
nah, yeah, that's how I felt. I was like, nah, this is fire, but because you gotta understand, like when we dropped it in 2022, there wasn't a lot of like boom bap specific music at a high level. Like it would either be a few songs were boom bap in the album, and then everything else was like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is like a full boom bap hip hop rap album. Mm-hmm. And the way that people received it, it was like a breath of fresh air. People that I thought would hate it was like, yo, like this is crazy. Like y'all are changing the game type stuff. And I'm like, bro, what? Like it was an unexpected blessing. Like it was very like it was very humbling and very like, oh snap, like people actually one want to hear what we're doing, and then two are like responsive to it.
Got it. That's dope. That's super dope. That's the because being like, I feel like I'm like a late bloomer as it relates to being a creative, because I don't rap, sing, produce. I DJ. I have a YouTube channel, radio show, but I never thought of myself as a creative. And there's often times where I have ideas of things that I want to do, and I try it and I put it out, and like I kind of hear nothing back. Even like with this idea of Bodega Talk, like I had it on the drive home, and I was just like, I almost didn't reach out to Taylor. Taylor was the first person I reached out to. I almost didn't reach out to him because I was like, this is kind of like, we don't really, in our space, we really don't spend time talking about just a verse. If we do something on an album, it's just a reaction, then it's over. There's not saying that there's no, but we don't do a whole lot of deep dives into our art, a whole lot of deep dives into our ministries like that. So I was like kind of nervous, but then I did it, and I feel like it's getting a good reception, more than I thought as well. So yeah, let's kind of keep going, and let's get into like the process. So obviously Bodega 1 happens. It's a great success, album of the year, and all that good stuff. But now, on the heels of that, there's talks about Bodega 2. I remember you had a tweet about it, asking people like, who would you want to hear on it? So talk about like compiling the rosters. Like, for me, it's just kind of like, I don't know. You guys take it from there.
So when I ask people who they wanted to hear on it, is like a lot of like, when I dropped Bodega 1, there was actually a lot of like, when we dropped Bodega 1. The reason why I said I is because 95 is not really on Twitter, but I be sharing stuff with him. But when we first dropped Bodega 1, a lot of people were mad that they weren't on it. Like,
yeah, I remember that.
I was like, bro, what? Like you're upset? Like, you know, like it was just
it was unwarranted.
Yeah, it was off the wall. And I think what it really was is like, yo, this is a commercial success in our community, and you're upset that you weren't a part of it because it was successful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, all right, like, let me hear what the people want, and maybe what the people want and what I want and what 95 wants is like, maybe it'll line up. You know what I'm saying? So, and I also just wanted to, like, part of the marketing plan, like, just keep it in front of people, have people talking about it, like, in any way, shape, or form. So having them talk about who they want to see or have on it, like, that was a big part of it. But when it comes to filling out the roster, bro, like, how I think we go about our creative process is I'll make like a Spotify playlist of sounds and songs that I'm like, yo, I would love like this soundscape of how this sounds, and I'll send it to 95, and then 95 will just get cooking, and then 95 makes all the beats and goes crazy, and then I get the beats and I figure out what artists that we want.
That's what I was going to ask. I was curious about that.
Yeah, like I'll kind of figure out and see who we both want on it, who we like about it, because there's times where I won't even tell 95 who I'm getting on it, and I'll just send it to him. I'm like, yo, like, what do you think about this person? And he'll be like, or like he'll be like, oh, this is hard. So it's just like, especially with the first one, I think that we were both so much on the same page that it was like we really didn't have a lot of things that didn't make it onto that project.
Got it.
But with this second one, I think we felt that heaviness and that call to, you know what I'm saying, like come correct for the second one. That there's actually a lot of verses that we didn't use for this joint, trying to get to what we think is like the perfect like remedy and stuff like that. But that's how the creative process goes for me on my end. It's just I kind of create a soundscape that I feel like I want to hear, and then I send to 95. We talk back and forth. He'll make beats after beats after beats, and I'll just start sending them to people that I feel like I can hear on a song, like and or that I have a vision for. Like, that's how Humble Beast came together. I was just like, yo, 95, we haven't had prop and braille on a record in like 15 years, like 12 years. I'm like, it'd be dope if we could kind of get them on something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for you 95, like when you're creative process, do you have like artists in mind? Like, hey, like this artist is in mind when I'm making this beat, or is it like a particular year in the past of a sound that you have in mind? So like how do you approach your production?
Yeah, so like Mykael said, he would send me like the overall like mood, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what if we did, blah, sound like this, sound like this. And I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Certain things I would pick off from that. Like, I like the energy of like, like Tribe on the Move, for example.
Crazy.
That whole vision was like, I was listening to a few records and I forget the 2 records that I mainly sampled from. But it was just like up tempo, early to mid 90s, like super boom bap, you know what I'm saying? Breakbeat, raps. So that track was a whole mood, and it set the atmosphere for Bodega 2, as the single.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to tap into like mid to early 90s, like Cypress Hill and House of Pain, and those are kind of the elements that made that track. But for the rest of it, I feel like I was just trying to be progressive. Like I wasn't trying to stay in an old school pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I had my influences, but I still wanted it to sound fresh and like new at the same time. So in most of the beats, you'll hear 808 and 808 slides, 808 glides, and like the triplet hi-hats, or like just like trap hi-hat kind of vibes. But I'm doing that using the breaks. So it's like just merging new and the old and making something new and fresh. And like the knock too, just making it like hit hard to where, you can still play this after you just listen to a new Young Jeezy record or Gucci record or whatever, back in the car, and it's still gonna like hit you the same kind of way. So
that's dope. So let's go ahead and start walking through. We have 14 tracks here. We're just gonna kind of skim through, and you guys can like let me know, I guess, is there anything particular about the production, about the artists that you have on the track, even how maybe the track gets named? Like I said, like in the intro, like it feels like some songs are like kind of more like a cipher, some have like a theme, and then some just kind of feel like this song, it could just be like a song on an album by that particular artist. So let's kick things off with the intro, and you guys setting the stage. So talk to us about just the intro.
Bro, this joint got the streets on lock. I'm telling you, 2 years ago, they dropped the first joint. 2 years later, it's like they popped out of the hyperbolic time chamber. Bro, say no more.
I mean, we wanted to have a continuation of the intro from the first one, but also wanted to freshen up a little bit. And I don't know. So because we had like the musical intro is the Bodega tracks, which is Bodega and the Bodega 2, which is the leading tracks off the album. Those are like the traditional intros to the project. But for this one, I wanted to create a soundscape that me and 95 had kind of thought of like summertime, like, you know what I'm saying, on the block type things. Like that's why in the beginning you hear like the Mr. Softy truck and sprinklers and all that stuff. We kind of wanted to continue to build that world that we have, and also kind of still harp on the things that that made Bodega 1 feel so like dope.
Gotcha. 95, you have anything to add?
Yeah, just like incorporating the culture of where we come from, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if everybody has a Mr. Softy ice cream truck, but that's what's in there. People talking in the background, like a spring summer day, New York, New Jersey, like the culture, the music playing in the background, you know what I'm saying? Going into the salsa at the end of it, like
that's nice.
Incorporating all of those elements to make you feel like how we felt, you know what I'm saying, growing up. And I feel like for those who have that same upbringing, when they hear that, they'll be like, oh man, like this is reminiscent of, you know what I'm saying, being on the block or something. So,
Gotcha. So let's go ahead and hop into the I guess the title track of the project.
Around like whoa, God came and saved my soul now. Knowing that I rode on my ways to roll now. Right now this yellow brick road, but this yellow brick road went. I guess
I think the one thing that's going to stick out to most people are the slight beat switches throughout. For each artist. Another thing that I've been seeing a whole lot of people talking about is just seeing Big Breeze on there and being like, wait a minute, like, okay, this is different, but at the same time, they had evidence from Bodega 1 of having somebody who you didn't think, like 1K Few. People were kind of like, they had those same type of ideas or thoughts in Bodega 1, but Bodega 2 having Big Breeze on there. So, and then for other people like don't know who Bodega Bams is. So just talk to us a little bit about this title track.
All right, I just want to say that I want to give all credit to 95 for putting Breeze on the intro, because I'm not gonna lie, like, respect to Breeze, like it's crazy because everybody loves it, but I give full honor and respect to 95 because I actually didn't particularly like the verse compared to other ones that we had on that specific beat. Gotcha. But 95 just saw the vision and he was like, hey bro, like, he killed it, man. He was like, yo, I think this is actually fire. And I'm like, I don't think it is, but I respect you. And I, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna trust your ear over mine in this situation. Because we had people like Prodi and other people that killed it. And I'm like, yo, like, this would be fire. And it was just like, yo, yeah, it is fire. But I think we could do something different if we, you know what I'm saying, did it. And then yeah, like Breeze killed it. I completely ate my words. Yeah. And it's crazy that nobody in this space outside of a couple people know who Bodega Bams is, bro. Like, Bodega Bams is like, bro, I'm talking about, I don't want to say he's a hip-hop legend, but he's a New York legend. Like, with Flatbush Zombies, he's done stuff with Action Bronson. Like, he is someone that is like, when it comes to underground New York hip-hop, like, when it comes to like people like Joey Badass and like that whole clique of like people, bro, like, he's up there. And we hit him up and we didn't know he was Christian. Like, we just hit him up like, hey, like, we have this connect. Okay. Which is Dom hit me and he was like, yo, y'all want to get Bodega Bams on the project? I'm like, for sure. Like, let's see what's up. Put us in a group chat. We didn't even know it. He had just got saved, touched by God. And it was like just full circle moment for us. And his name being Bodega Bams and him being on the intro of Bodega 2 is like, it was literally just God. You know what I'm saying? So that was just crazy. But he, you know, in New York, in the East Coast, like, if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Most people from that area know. Like, I hit my pops like, yo, Bams is on the project, Bodega Bams on the project. He's like, oh, how'd you know what I'm saying? But like, he knows who he is. You know, he's like, you know, older than us. It's funny that when I interviewed Abel, that's what Abel said. Abel said his cousin put him on Bodega Bams, and like he grew up listening to his music, and now he's on a song with him. That was just kind of like, it's another one of those things where it's like you said in the intro, like, we're being invited into this world. So like now we're getting put on to somebody who's like a legend in the Bodega. Yeah, dang, I didn't even think about it like that. That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't even think about it like that. God cooked like quadruple entendre on that. Like, that's one of the things that like showed me like, yo, we need to finish this project, because we got him on, like, that was like last year. We was in the middle of the project and it was just rough, man. It wasn't the same as the first one. Gotcha. Like, and this project was like, we didn't know what was gonna come. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't know who was gonna come through, what artists were actually gonna get on records. Yeah, I was having a hard time just with myself, production. I'm like, I was just lost. You know what I'm saying? So, but him being on the project was like, okay, God is doing something that's bigger than just this right here, what we can see. That's dope. That's dope. Any quick thoughts on like why you went with slightly different beats for each of the four artists? Yeah, so the first one, we did 3 different beats for 3 different artists. So we had Dre Murray on his own beat, we had Glen Ray, and then Bats on separate beats. And one thing that I heard most from the first one, the feedback was like, yo, I wish this was longer. Like, I wish the Bodega track was longer. So in this one, I wanted to do 4. It was kind of ambitious, but you know, I'm like, I'm gonna give the people what they asked for, because I saw multiple comments of like, yo, I wish this was longer. I wish this was longer. Let me do that. So yeah, that's how that came about. We wanted to keep the same kind of vibe from part 1, like that. It's just a crazy concept, a different beat with a different artist. On the track. Yeah. That's dope. So let's keep pushing. Let's go to Joe Pesci.
casket, we was really kids. I vowed I'd be the greatest the day that my uncle split his wig. Been a father figure before I even hit a growth spurt. They gotta turn to KM cause what they cooking ain't kosher.
That's the joint with Obed Padilla. Am I saying his name right?
Yeah.
Caleb Mitchell and Jody Felton. So let's talk about Joe Pesci and like, I guess I'm curious to know like why you named it Joe Pesci. Is it just because of him being mentioned in the first?
Nah. So like when I made the beat, I just named the beat Joe Pesci because it just that's what it felt like to me, like with the strings and like, you know, he plays in a lot of mafia films, so that was like the vibe that I was kind of going for. Yeah, and it pretty much was the beat name.
Yep. And then it got mentioned in that, in like I said, in the first verse. Mm-hmm. The rest was history. I thought Caleb was definitely a standout on there. I always love hearing from Caleb. He's a great artist, a fantastic artist. So, Jody Felton, this was my introduction. I didn't know it. And it's like, and that's another thing I like about the project is that like you have people from like 100 monthly listeners all the way up to like the crazy of the world who have millions. So again, just showing that love from the little guys all the way up. So Mykael, you got anything on the Joe Pesci joint?
Man, that joint was fun, man. We were like in the war room at 0 Dark 30 trying to figure out like sequence, no exaggeration, we figured out the sequence to the project I think an hour before I submitted it. Like we were like, and we thought this would be a great opening track outside of the intro track, because like if you notice amongst the entire project, a common theme is like strings, like a lot of strings, a lot of ominous and dark kind of production style when it comes to that, very mafioso, very like eloquent, very like, you know what I'm saying, like all that stuff. So dope.
Well, let's move on to Scared to Death. We got some scratching, we got some samples on here as well as the string. So let's talk about Scared to Death. This is the joint with Gavin the Hot Rod and Selah the Corner.
Now I'm out here on the block that I was raised to serve the king. Please, man, tell me how to stop it. Bad signal, send to my phone, I ain't robbing.
In 1995.
Of course, 1995, yeah.
A lot of people didn't know that I did that. I mean, obviously, nobody would know. Especially the way the album's labeled. It says Mykael V 1995 and then the artist. But, that was crazy. That just happened. I was just cooking up the beat and then, you know.
Was it a reference? Like were you trying to do a reference first and then you were like, nah, I like this?
Yeah, like so at first I was making a beat and like the beat was like rough. It was still rough, but I like the sample. I never thought it'd be something that I would jump on and rap on. Like it was not, that was not my intention.
Yo, he's being mad humble right now, bro. Like
no, for real. Like in making the beat, it was like I just started having fun and I just like picked up the mic and I did like a couple freestyle takes and I kept some of the lines from it. So that's what makes the verse is like those freestyle lines. And you know what I'm saying? From there, I pretty much chopped up and made the verse. And then I got serious about it. And I was like, let me tweak some lines here and there and actually made it a verse. Okay. I sent it to Mykael. I sent it to a few people. My cousin Ray Alexis, he was on the first Bodega. I sent it to a few people, you know what I'm saying? Sent it to Belief, my big homie. I sent it to people who rap. Yeah. Like, yo, this is dope. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, shoot, I'll keep it. Mykael was guest on it too, so I was like, "We lit. I'm on the track."
Okay. So, is it gonna be more to come, or is this just kind of like, hey, like only on Bodega you're gonna get?
Oh yeah. So like after this project, I'm making the switch to artistry because I feel like that's what the Lord has been trying to get me to do. So yeah, I don't know what it's gonna sound like.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what I plan on doing.
That's dope. That's really, really dope. Mykael, you got anything else for Scared to Death?
Yeah, people gotta respect 95's pen. That boy can rap. That boy can rap.
But Gavin and Selah, hearing myself next to them, I'm like, these guys is like they do this. It was just an honor to be on the track with dudes that like.
It was one of my favorite tracks on the whole project.
Likewise.
Yeah, I think it's a really complete song. It was one of those ones where it can kind of I mean, it's Bodega. It's a lot. You have to kind of listen to it a couple of times, and then it's like kind of live with certain songs just so you can really grasp it. Again, that's the reason why I wanted to do this thing called Bodega Talk. I had a bad name for it at first. I guess it wasn't a bad name. I'll share it here. I wasn't going to share it, but the name was going to be Bars Day Bodega, and I was just like,
yeah, I like Bodega Talk better for sure.
Right. Thank you. I figured I just put myself out there because the idea, because like that's part of the reason why I was hesitant to if it was going to work. I was like, so I had a voice memo to Abel, and Abel was just like, "No, it's too on the nose," and I was like, okay, but he was like, but the idea is fire. Go with the idea, but just like come up with a different name. And I was like, you know what? Just keep it simple. We talking about Bodega, so.
I want to thank you for that too, man. That's dope. Because I just stumbled upon this earlier this morning, just going through interviews, and I was like, man, this is crazy.
That's dope. That's truly dope. That's truly dope. So let's keep moving. Let's go to Poppy Store. Let's talk about this one. Am I saying it with the right accent? Yeah. I'm from the Midwest, so
Poppy Store, yeah.
What's the point of you counting me out when I knew I was chosen? Macaulay Culkin, the way I'm cooking inside a cauldron. I'm home alone writing raps down in the Aston Martin.
Let's talk about it. So this is the joint with gosh, I lost my screen here. That is the joint with C4, who was on Bodega Talk, Zay, and we already talked about it, the legend R Swift. So let's talk about it.
Man, that joint was fun, bro. I think this is my second favorite song on the project.
Ooh, crazy.
And it was a joint that kind of like we just had to keep tweaking it. Like we had people do stuff, and it was like, yo, a lot of people, and this is no offense to anybody that tried, but a lot of people weren't completing the assignment when they came to this song. And I felt like C4 started it off good, like the energy was good, and I was just like, man, this is just tough. And I got Swift on there because I'm like, man, he's a legend. I love him. He is a big part of my life when it comes to music. So I was like, I'd love to get him on something like this. To have two Philly people on a record like this is crazy. And like, I wanted to get C4 because I kind of again, like when we first dropped Bodega 1, everybody was like, yo, you got to get this person, that person, this person, that person. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna check these people out. And I sent the record to a lot of people that people suggested. And C4 was the one that kind of like stood out the most to us personally.
Okay.
Yeah, and it just came together seamlessly, bro. Like this joint is hard hitting, and it was almost like, when I say almost, it was like 60% about to get cut from the project because we just couldn't do it justice. We could not.
The thing was, I love this beat so much. I was like, this has to be on the album. Like this beat has to be on the album, but we just couldn't get the record to work. And Mykael was like, yo, we just gonna have to cut it, man. Like, I'm like, yo, we need this beat on the album. Like, this is like a centerpiece, like sonically. And we had C4's verse for a while. It was just C4, and it was like, yo, we just gonna make it work. We were thinking about at some point just putting it as an interlude at the end of a track with just C4 rapping on the beat.
Yeah.
But I got my homie Zay. I hit him up. I was like, bro, I need a verse. Let me know if you down. He recorded it, and then Mykael sent it to R Swift, like. And that's kind of like the last minute additions that made it, to where it is now.
Got it. And again, like this is like, you guys may not know, but this is again another connection to Intermission, because Intermission has a song on there called Streets of Philly or Streets of Philadelphia, and it's all Philadelphia artists on there. So again, it's like that. It's like a subtle connection that you didn't intentionally do, but again, there's just that link to DJ Official's Intermission. So
yo, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know that. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. And R Swift, I believe R Swift ends that song, if my memory serves me correct, but I could be wrong. So let's go to one of the fan favorites.
Yahweh speaking through me like ventriloquy sessions. Atlanta students don't want to carry the 2 and subtract, but they'll carry the 2 and subtract you if you move like a rat.
Which is Fall of Rome. It's by Lecrae, J Monty, 350, and AM Sunday. Am I getting it right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is my favorite hook on the entire project. Like AM Sunday, I don't know who this human is, but they're gifted, extremely gifted. So let's talk about Fall of Rome.
Crazy. So I mean,
tell them about I Am Sunday, bro. I think that story is beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I made the beat. You know, I sent it to Mykael. I think was it like initially like you was gonna get Lecrae on it, because it was just crazy. It's like, yo, we need this to be one of them.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like Lecrae and Andy kind of thing, and then
So like, you know, then he sent me a snip of like Lecrae actually on it, and then eventually we got the Lecrae vocals. But we had Lecrae for a minute. I guess Jay Monty, I don't know when that came in, but the hook, man. It was me and my wife and Obed. We was in the living room just kicking it, watching YouTube, and my wife wanted to pull up a testimony or something that she had seen before from this musician guy. And while she was looking for it, she had found him. But because she was looking for a testimony that he did, but then she just ended up clicking on his music. So like she clicked on a music video. It was called Save Drake. And I'm like, I told her click on that, because I'm like, this is about to be trash. Like there's no way there's a song that's called Save Drake and it's about to click on it. Because like I'm thinking I'm gonna get a laugh out of it. And then she clicked on it, and it was AM Sunday. He was going by his government name, I think, at the time, Colin Christopher or something like that. But like as soon as she hit play on it, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I need this guy on this hook for this record that I've been trying to get somebody to do a hook for.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I reached out to AM Sunday with the reference track with Cray on it. Like I reached out to him first on IG, like, yo, what's up, bro? Would love to get to work with you on something. And then we exchanged numbers and texted, got on a call. I texted him the reference, and he was probably like thinking I was a catfish. Like, is this real? Is this AI? Like, this is Lecrae on the track. You want me to do a hook on this joint? I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's how that came along. He sent like 5 or 6 hooks. I was like, yo, this ain't it. Like, we need to get the one. Eventually, he just called me up one day after sending me another demo, and I said this wasn't it. He called me up, and then we just got to co-writing it together, and he came up with the melodies, and we pieced together the words, and that was that. And it's crazy, man. It's another crazy God story, because like, yeah,
that was another thing where we had multiple people try to swing at that joint, and it just wasn't hitting the way that we thought it should.
How do you navigate that with artists? Because I mean, obviously people can be sensitive about their art, about their craft, about their voice. They may feel like something's dope. Like, how do you navigate that? It's got to be tough.
I mean, it is tough. I mean, I'm still working on it, bro. Like, I hit up people when we announced the track list that they weren't on it. Like, I posted the track list and I was like, yo, unfortunately, like, you know what I'm saying, this joint was dope, but you know what I'm saying, I just tell them the truth. Like, I never tell somebody that they're bad or anything like that. I'm just like, hey, like, the vision that we had for this, this person fit that vision more at the time. And it's not like an assault on somebody's creativity or how they approach it. It's like, yo, like, the way that you did it, it was fire. It just, like, what we're trying to build, that brick didn't fit in this house that we're trying to build. You know what I'm saying?
Do they really take that well?
Some people do, some people don't. Some people are like, whatever, I don't care, but they really wanted to be on it.
You care,
yeah. And I'm just like, I mean, I'm sorry, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, because I think the thing is like, there's some people that even from Bodega 1, like, they felt slighted, and I'm like, yo, this doesn't mean we're never ever gonna work together,
right?
Like, it just means for this specific thing that just didn't work.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And it was but. A lot of people understood. There was nobody that was acting funny, so thank God. But yeah, bro, I was on tour with Lecrae last year. We've had this song done for like a year, so I was on tour with Lecrae, and I posted a video on my Instagram where I took a video of him writing to it in front of me, and
okay.
I was like, yo, bro, like, we have this joint. I mean, bro, I would love to have you on the song. Like, you let me know what I gotta do. He's like, oh, I got you. Immediately heard it. Like, I sent it to him, I airdropped it to him, and immediately he started writing. He was like, oh, yeah, it's hard, and just started writing, like, atomically, religious ideology. Like, he was going crazy.
That's dope. That's super dope. And Jay Monty, like, have any of y'all, like, I'm convinced that, like, he's not like regular people. Like, his pen is, like, he says it in the song, like, he's a homophone master. Like,
I didn't even know what a homophone was, and I had to look it up after, like, while the project was out. he was putting me on game. Like,
Man.
I know he had a song called Homophone. I'm like, I don't know what that is. I'm thinking it's like those joints on a loudspeaker. But I Googled it, and it's just like words that are the same word, just spelled different and mean two different things. It's just like, hard. He did it. Yeah, that's crazy. But that's my favorite verse on the project. Like he
spazzed, bro. He went crazy. The insane
you
thing
can't die just yet because you in testing.
Yeah,
bro. Yeah, he's bro. The crazy thing is that his original verse, he switched it because we've also had his verse for a while, and Eminem dropped his album.
Okay.
The latest Slim Shady LP or whatever, like whatever Eminem's most recent album is that came out. Jay Monty had a similar bar, and he wrote it before. Like we had it already before the album dropped, and Jay Monty's a very particular creative, and he was like, "Yo, I don't want people to think that I took that from this, so I'm gonna rewrite the verse." And we were like on the brink at that time of like thinking we were done. I was like, "Bro, I'm like, bro, if you're gonna switch your verse, I need this done like yesterday." Like he was like, "Bro, I got you." She's like, "Please let me switch it," and I'm like, "All right, bro." And
so
then
did he do like the whole verse, or did he just like kind of?
Nah, he switched. No, he kept the first half of his verse the same. He switched his second verse, and then also made the second part of his verse longer.
Yeah, he changed the opening lines, and then like he just added like another 8 bar. I don't know, 4 to 8 bars, but
because it wasn't a 16.
Nah. It was longer than that.
Yeah, man.
Maybe too. Like he knew he was on the record with Lecrae at this point, because at first I don't think he knew.
Yeah,
but like he really showed out, and
he said, "Okay, I see what it is." Okay, all right. Well, let's talk about Blast Off. And my Espanol is awful. So, Besame.
There we go. Besame, yeah.
Shout out to my Senora Earhart, my 11th grade teacher. So. Let's talk about Blast Off.
Washed in the water, light from the sun. Can you see the aura? Left the label last summer. Yeah, I feel like Donna. Toast to the future. We only going farther.
And of the pairing of 1K Few and Ty Brazel.
That's all Mykael.
Yeah, we had this joint, and again, it's the same thing. It's like, yo, we had ideas, sent it to people, and not a lot of people were making us feel anything. So I finally sent it to Ty. I was like, cause I think 95 was like, yo, we should get Ty on the project. I don't know what record, but we gotta have Ty on the project. And I'm like, all right, bet. So then I sent it to him, and I'm like, yo, Ty, would you be down? And he went crazy. And then the Blast Off beat was the beat. Like that was the beat by itself. And then me and 350 have been working on stuff, and he had that Besame beat, and he was like, bro, you use this for whatever. I don't think I'm gonna use it. So I put it at the end of the Blast Off joint, because I'm like, yo, it'd be dope for like a slower switch up to kind of slow the project down, like whatever. And we also got other people on that. Didn't sound that good until we landed on Few, and that was like a alley-oop from 95. He was like, yo, we don't have Few on it, and every time we got Few on it, he's done great, so let's just try to put him on this. So again, Few was like, yeah, I'm down, and just went crazy.
Yeah. Few's verse on It Takes Two from Bodega 1 is still like one of my, like, I don't know what it is about it. It's just, it's crazy. It's crazy. He killed that. So, and then shout out to 350 making his first appearance of many on.
Shout out to 350, man, the MVP of Bodega, high key, bro.
Yeah,
like,
facts.
On the first project, he produced Make Ends Meet, and in this project, he set us up with the whole sample for Besame, and like just his verses too, like, bro, he could literally drop a Bodega EP just off of his appearances, and it'll be like 7 tracks.
Right. He also co-wrote on Tribe on the Move, so it's just like, he's all over that joint.
350, you need to be on Bodega Talk so we can talk about all this and more. So that should be coming soon. I should be able to hook up with 350 and get him on here to talk at length about his activity. So let's talk to let's move on to Arkham Knights, the interlude on here. So I believe both of them were on Bodega 1. Am I right about that?
Just Bats.
Yeah. Oh, just Bats.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Dudes was on the deluxe of Bodega 1.
Oh, Okay, got it. So they joined forces and gave us Arkham Knight. So let's talk about that one really quick.
Making everybody say, thinking it's their turn, but then I got the right away. I'm the Dark Knight, but they looking for a body day. Underlay, the way we walking up on his beat, they know they gotta call it game.
I love it. I mean, it was the beginning of it is my homegirl Spencer. I had shown her we were getting coffee one day and just like working on Holy Smoke stuff, and I remember showing her some of the like Bodega stuff while I was working on it, and out of nowhere, I'm talking about randomly, like she says a voice text. She's like, "Yo, you know what I can't get out of my head right now? Bodega," and I was like, "Yo," I listened to her send that, and I was like, "Yeah, I want you to know immediately that you just made the project unintentionally, completely just made the project."
That's crazy.
She was like, "Wait, what?" Like it was like a very authentic thing. It was crazy.
Yeah. That's dope. And another good point is like Spencer's. That's a dope name. Gosh, I don't think I've ever met
for a female, right? Yeah, she's cool people.
First name
to her. She's a girl.
Shout out to Spencer. That's a dope name.
But yeah, with Bats and them. So funny story is Bats was actually supposed to be on Tribe on the Move because John Keefe was not gonna be on Tribe on the Move.
Wow.
So it was like a joint, but me and 95, I mean me mostly, but I had to beg John to get onto that joint because he just, at the time that we had finished that joint, he was just not in a place of like rapping and like he was in a whole different bag. And he was like, "Bro, I just had my baby. I'm not in the place. I don't feel like I want to rap." And I just kept hounding him. I'm like, "Bro, please." I'm like, "Bro, I need you to know. This might be the one. Like, I just need you to trust me." He's like, "All right, bro." And then yeah, we got into it, and he ended up getting the verse done, and yeah, it was dope. And 95 helped me write the hook for it.
Nah, 350.
Yeah, my bad. 350 helped me.
Number.
Yeah, just different numbers, man. 350 helped me write the hook for that joint, and rest is history, man. That's like the joint of the album. I know we're on Arkham Knights, but yeah, back to Bats and Dudes. But yeah, bro, I love it. The thing is, bro, is like it was a beat that I think 95 sent in passing. It wasn't like a, "Hey, we need this on the album." It was like, "Hey, I have this. I think it's dope. If it becomes anything, I'm cool." And I'm not gonna lie to you, I was at the point of exhaustion of like sending people beats and them just not understanding the assignment. So I just sent it to them too. I was like, "Yo, y'all know what to do, man. I don't even gotta tell. Like, y'all know what to do."
It was actually another beat. I think that's when you pulled up to the crib.
Yeah.
Oh, yo, joint. It was like really old school boom bap tribe-ish. Not Tribe on the Move. So like Bats and Dudes did verses to that old beat, and I wasn't really sold on the beat, so I ended up just taking their vocals and making another beat, and it became the Arkham Knights,
which 95 is notorious for and does it well.
I wouldn't say I do it well. It's just like it happens sometimes, you know. But yeah, that was that joint. I just wanted to revamp it, you know.
Got it. Well, what do we have next? We have Blam.
Son of payment, one dash to this day. And it ain't even my prince, it's him carrying me. It ain't even my breath, it's him breathing in me. And it ain't even my pen, it's him speaking through me.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. I also didn't think I also didn't think that people were gonna respond well to this. Cause it's like such an abstract beat, you know what I'm saying? Like I was like, "Oh, we'll see how people respond to it."
It's like one of my favorite beats on here.
I had thrown the suggestion out, like, "Yo, we should try to get Stephen Malcolm," and it was like, we'll see, you know, like it was kind of like, I was like, "Nah, I think he'll kill it," and then I just kind of told him.
I didn't even know that was bro.
I didn't either.
I had made a reference track on the beat, and it was like that same kind of vibe, like the dance hall kind of joint. Mykael was like, "Yo, yeah, my patois homie, he coming from."
Okay.
He said, "My patois homie right now. And I'm gonna send it to him." And I'm like,
"Bro, this is great." So the patois homie is not Steven.
Oh, so that's not Steven. Yeah.
So my patois homie was Scribe. Scribe, I wanted to get Scribe on this joint, and I was like, bro, here's the reference. I know you're Jamaican. You live in Toronto. Like, I know all the things, all the check marks that need to be checked are checked. But he was going to Africa like 2 days later, and it just and he just never sent me anything. And I was like, all right, cool, bro. Like, understood. Like, I know it wasn't like a thing. Like, I was like, well, he was busy. He left the country, and I was like, all right, yo, Steven, you're Jamaican. Like, let's see what you got, bro.
Man, this is the one. This is the sleeper one. This is the one where This is the one where like I heard it and I was just kind of like, when I saw it, and I was like, okay, we got Stephen Malcolm. And I don't follow a lot of his music. I listen to it like kind of here and there, kind of like the hit. So I don't know how often he gets into like this kind of dance hall like vibe. I don't know how often he does it.
I've never heard it.
But every song I've heard, I've never heard him go here. So I saw the track listing, him, Klesso, and Dre Murray. I'm a big Dre Murray fan. Hell's Paradise, best mix.
Hell's Paradise, the best hip hop to come out of CHH, in my opinion.
Hell's Paradise is just.
Hell's Paradise is not talked about enough.
Bro, Hell's Paradise is my favorite Christian hip hop albums. Like 1 and 2, crazy. Shout out to Witt and Dre Murray, legends.
Yeah. The story of Clive Lee Hood needs to be. It needs to be a movie.
Yo, that whole project is crazy, man.
Yeah. So shout out to Dre Murray. Dre Murray, hey, I might need to get you on Bodega Talk. We need to just sit down and just talk about Hell's Paradise, because
also Dre Murray, my favorite Christian hip hop rapper, like high key, like there's times where I'm listening to Bodega 1 and 2 and I hear Dre Murray and like I'd have tears like come to my eye, or like Dre Murray is like super important to me. So the fact that he's on this is like.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Bro. It's very, very special moment, man. It was and Dre Murray too, it was hard to get him on because he's thinking about retiring. So I had to like pull him up, like, hey bro, like I didn't even know that. I need you, bro. Yeah. He's like, all right, bro, I got you, man.
But like that pairing with like the dance hall, Stephen Malcolm, and then Kless is just so talented. Like I love his new project. Destiny's my favorite song in the entire world right now.
Yeah, it's a good one.
My family is tired of me singing that mug and playing that mug. But back to Blam. So it is the sleeper. I feel like when I first heard it, I was kind of like the styles were just like this is like gumbo. This is a lot of different things going on. And then right after it's like Travel to Move, so you just get hype after that. So, but my second listen, I was like, wait a minute. Put the little 1 on it, and spun it like 2 or 3 times in a row. I was just like, you know what? This might be one of my favorites on the project. So talk about like that pairing. That pairing.
So we had tried, again, this is the theme of the project. We had tried other people on this joint, and some of them did great, and then it was just like, yo, this is like technically good, but it doesn't fit the vibe that we want. Like this is technically sound and it's dope, but it's not evoking any emotion our way. So I hit up a Klesso last minute because he said no.
Klesso on this joint, man.
Yeah. He said no the first couple of times that I asked him. He was like, nah, I'm not in that bag. I can't do it. Okay. And then out of nowhere, bro, he hit me up. He's like, hey, bro, send me that beat. And I'm like, what? He was like, yo, just send it to me. And he sent it to me, and he just started going crazy on it. And I sent it to 95, and 95 was like, yo, this is what it was missing. It was missing this energy. Like
I wanted him on that track so bad.
He has so much character, so much spirit.
Like off the wall.
Yeah. So Klesso's special. He's special, man.
I will say too about like this production, like I don't know if many people know, but this is kind of really like West Coast like inspired. Okay. Like if you listen to like Death Row, Dr. Dre, like even with the Jamaican stuff on it, like on The Chronic, I think it came out in 91, I'm not sure. But like on that record, Dre and Snoop and them, they have this Jamaican dude, I guess, rapping on the record. But even the production on here, even drum wise, it's very NWA-ish too. You know what I'm saying? Some NWA, and you hear these drums, like it's like a melting pot of West Coast hip hop too. And this is the only record that kind of, you know, if you know, like some old Dre stuff. This is in that kind of lane too.
Dope. Facts. The sleeper of the project, Blam. So let's move on to the single of the project, Traveling to Move.
This could really get quiet. Dropped the low blow and found out they had a high make. I'm really white lie. I'm a wise guy. My tribe will be in sync till we bye.
You talked a little bit about it, 95. You have anything to add that because like I think what we've learned is John Keith wasn't going to be on it.
Yeah.
And possibly Bats. We also something else we learned about it too, like in the intro, but it's been a little bit, I've forgotten. So anything else we have on Tribe on the Move?
Yeah, like we didn't know if Mowgli's verse was gonna make it. It was very like back and forth between everyone. Yeah, it was like I think we all knew what we had in our hands, and we all just really wanted to like make sure this joint fulfilled the prophecy we had in our head. You know what I'm saying? But everything ended up working out crazy, bro. Like it was, everything worked out perfect.
That's cool. And for me, like I guess hindsight is 2020. To me, it's like a no-brainer that Tribe on the Move has Indie Tribe on it. But like it sounds like there were still, like, even behind the scenes, there were some. It just wasn't going to be a default. Hey, this is going to be an Indie Tribe record to be the lead single. But then also the idea that, or the fact that Mowgli's verse might not have made it, but like the way that Mowgli and Tory verse kind of meld together with like that move, and then like that being like it being Tribe on the Move and that being like a big part of the song. Yeah, it's interesting in 2020, just 2020 hindsight to kind of hear how it came together and how it just wasn't a foregone conclusion that that the Tribe was going to be on there.
Yeah, bro. It's literally like the way everything came together was like really magical, bro. And I felt like that was the only thing that could have made it. I think the way it is the way it was supposed to happen. Like that joint just feels special, bro.
Got it.
That joint is a special record.
Yeah, I was not expecting the Indie Chart record to be a single for Bodega. Like, you know, like the way it happened, it just happened.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? Dill was on it first. So I'm thinking this is Bodega, Dill's on the verse. And we just had Dill's verse for months just by himself. And like I get Bats was on it at one point, but it just ended up turning into an Indie Chart record. You know what I'm saying? It's full. I'm like, yeah.
And when I heard it and I knew that I found out it was going to be the single, my thought was like, okay, this is the Tribal Council. This is the last song on the project, just because it don't get no better than Tribe on the Move. I was just kind of like, this is crazy. And then also I saw the Holy Smoke Sessions version of it, and Mykael, you went crazy on that. But my kids they're 6 and 9. They were like, Daddy, why is his eyes like that? I'm like, that's DJ Mykael V. Like he's getting the group hype. They getting ready to take off. So
yeah, it's like, man, the crazy thing is like, especially when I perform too, I think a lot of what makes stuff special is like the character that you put into something, like the energy, and like, so it's like, yo, why are his eyes wide open? Like, what's going on? And I'm like shaking, and I'm like, yo, I feel like that's hip hop. Like, because when you think of like Busta Rhymes, it's like as I rewind and like it's like you just like it's like your body is like it was just it. I did that because it just felt like I can communicate the excitement and the energy of the record through like how I'm reacting to it.
Right. And then John Keith was the same way. Like my kids be doing his little dance off to the side. Like they love that video. They listen to it a lot. They are big fans of the Indie Tribe. Maybe your youngest fans. They're 6 and 9. So shout out to Ice and Savvy. So all right, so what I was saying was like I didn't know how you guys were going to follow it up. I saw the track listing, and when I saw the track listing, it didn't have the order. I think DJ Mykael V, you posted like a version that had like everything kind of like blurred out, and then you dropped the different people who were going to be on different songs. And I saw that that Taylor Gray and Belief were going to be not only on like Bodega too, but they're on the same song, and I'm just like, I'm a big Belief fan, big fan of Taylor Gray, being from Ohio, Tragic Hero, 350. I was just like, all them on a song, and then I saw that it was following up Tribe on the Move, and I was just like, okay, time flies.
Yeah, time flies, bro. We had,
if it's following up Tribe on the Move, so let's talk about it.
Willing to leave blood, it's evident that these moments will visit and leave us. We just blips on our radar. Say less, we say lie. We can think we the ish like the first born of Hagar.
Yeah, so when it comes to Time Flies, it was like I think Taylor was on here, and I actually went. I had a show in Columbus.
Yeah.
And I had linked up with Tragic and Taylor, and 350 was always like, bro, I want to get a song with Taylor Gray. I never got one. And I'm like, bro, I got you. And then we linked up, and we was kicking, drinking coffee, and I was like, Taylor, bro, like, I would love to have you on this record. Like, Tragic. I've been friends with Tragic for years. And it finally just came together, like, now that, like, we finally linked up again, just to see each other, like, yo, how are you? And I was like, yo, bro, I'd love to have y'all on, because he hasn't put out music in a minute either. So in my head, I'm like, yo, I want to bring cats out of retirement. I want to give people confidence to, like, yo, like, you are missed, you are valued.
Exactly.
Like, people want to hear what you have to say.
Yep.
And yeah, bro, and I didn't even know Belief was gonna be on it. Like, that was like that was a quarterback move from '95. It was like, he was like, I was chilling one day and I got a text, Belief, Time Flies. And I was like, wait, what? And I heard it, and I'm like, dog, what? Like, I'm like, there were so many good verses, we couldn't X anybody out. We tried.
Yeah.
He like we tried to be like, all right, yo, who's getting the axe? And it was like, bro, we can't even.
Yeah, it's like one of those songs, like, man, if it's 5 minutes, it's not 5 minutes, but like if it's like long, just let it be. You can't cut nobody.
Yeah, and it's what's cool about it. Well, actually, I'm gonna do a quick callback to, like, you mentioned Tragic Hero. We were just talking about Dre Murray. Like, they had some records together that are really dope. One of my favorite music videos in Christian hip hop is Pharaoh. It's dope.
I just so Tragic that, like, yo, like,
yeah, I mean, bro,
I've been listening to you since, like, that time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
a big part of Bodega is, like, we desire to get the things and collabs that people wouldn't expect. I mean, me specifically as well. Like, bro, there's times where even on Bodega 1, I've asked 95, like, and he's looked at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, hey, bro, you think we can get Dream Junkies? Like, you think we could do it? And it's like he's like, bro, that's never gonna happen.
That'll never happen.
I'm like, bro, but we could try though. He's like, bro, no, we can't. And then I'm like, yo, we live as kings. And he's like, that's also just not. It's just not gonna happen. Like,
yeah, man.
Bro, so on the Humble Beast record, we tried to get Beautiful Eulogy.
Yeah.
I was this close. I was this close.
Odd Thomas.
But Odd Thomas, bro, he hasn't picked up a pen in God knows how long. So they were like, nah, he's not.
I'm pretty sure his pen still works.
No, that's what I said. But they were like, nah, he's not gonna, like, he's not gonna do it, because that's just he hasn't been training the samurai sword.
Okay, fair enough. But time flies was just crazy. I kicked off Bodega Talk talking to Taylor just because, like, I just felt like, for me, I told him, like, he writes like he's writing in the wisdom books of the Bible. Like, that's that's the cloth that he comes from as an artist. So I loved his verse, and I was just like, first person I called, I was like, hey, I got this idea. I just want to talk about your verse, because I feel like some people just aren't picking up what you're putting down. So but yeah, so 350 makes another appearance on Bodega. He kills it to start things off. And the rest is kind of history. And it's always good to get a Belief verse, man. Always good to get one.
Belief's the GOAT, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then I seen him when we had a show in San Diego, and I just thanked him to his face. I was like, man, thank you so much, bro. Like, for even doing that. Because he don't pop out and rap a lot. So the fact that he would bless us, like, we're just, like, being able to rap on this joint is twice is crazy.
Yeah. So it's a staple now that if there is a next Bodega and the next Bodega, it's like Belief. It's a staple. We have to hear from Belief on here now. Have to hear from Belief. So anything else on Time Flies?
Man, verses are crazy. Tragic got my favorite verse, but it's like you can't even have a wrong.
Yeah.
It's one of those tracks.
Yeah, it's one of them joints. Like every verse is my favorite verse. Also, how we made the beat is I had went to Nashville, and I said we because I just threw a suggestion, but I was like me and 95 was in the room chilling, and we were just going through samples, and he had come across the sample that's on the record, and I was like, bro, I'm like, bro, we gotta use this.
He was bugging about the sample. I was like, you want me to flip the fence?
He was like, bro, really? And I'm like, bro, we have to. He was like, you really want it? Like, I'm like, yes, bro, we gotta use this joint. And he was like, all right, like, cool. If you think it's dope, I mean, more power to you.
Yeah, my boy co-produced that one. So
got it. All right. Well, we were just talking about it. We had Humble Beast coming up next. Having Braille and Propaganda on the next on a song together, and is it Civ?
Yeah, Civ. It's Civ. Yeah.
Got it.
Game, that's the motto. My old man crooked imago, but it's a new day. Yahweh pulled me off of that stage, Apollo.
So let's talk about Humble Beast and how that kind of came together.
So we had because you know that Propaganda owns a coffee company, and he had brought his stuff to Holy Smoke. Like he had like his coffee company, I think, had a table at the festival, and I finally seen him in person for the first time in God knows how long, and I was just giving him his flowers. I'm like, bro, I would love to work with you, bro. I think it'd be a dream. Like, and we haven't heard him on something like this in a minute. Like he does all like the, what I'm saying, like the conscious freedom poetry and rap. But I'm like, man, I would love to try to invoke like Tunnel Rats Propaganda. I want him to come back. I'm like, bro. So we had this joint. I'm like, we were like, bro, we got to get Beautiful Eulogy on something. And I'm like, but it got to be something that is not traditionally what we're used to hearing with them specifically. So we had this beat for Humble Beast. And then I was like, bro, I'm going to hit a Propaganda and see if he wants to do it. And bro, literally, he heard it and he's like, yo, I'm down. I got you. Gave it back to me in like less than a week.
Wow. So turned that joint around quick.
Yeah, he was excited. And then Braille the same thing, man. Braille's one of my good friends, bro. And when we dropped Bodega 1, he was like, man, I wish you would have hit me up, bro. Like I would have loved to have been a part of it. And I'm like, bro, what? Say word.
Right.
Say word. So then when we were working on number 2, I was like, all right, he got to be a part of it.
Dope. Great. So next up, we got another 350 appearance. So we got Never Go Back.
Never stream through the storms and monsoons. This ain't where I wanna be, but I can never go back. No, I can never go back. No, I can never go.
With 350, Brenton Rauscher. I put an N in there and everything. Rauscher. And then Paris Carrez, who has never written a bad verse in his entire life.
Ever.
Let's talk about this one.
Bro, I love that joint, man. The beat hits so hard. Like, yeah, man. Like, it kind of came together on its own. Like, again, it's just 350 because me and 350 are working on stuff ourselves. So it's just natural. My natural inclination is to just be like, hey, bro, what do you think? And he just started writing and he enjoyed it. And I remember, again, we were looking for like a second verse and sending it to people, but not a lot of people were, understanding the assignment. So then I hit up Britain because I had worked with Britain when I was with Foggy. And Britain came through and did what he did. And then Paris came through and blessed the record.
Yeah. Paris is super talented. Take Me to Paris was a album that came out this year that kind of flew under the radar.
Yeah.
He has some joints on there. Really love the joint he has on there with Aha Gazelle. Can't think of the name of it, but getting off topic. So Never Go Back. So 350. So did 350, did he help co-produce this one as well?
No, this is all 95.
All 95. Okay, bet. So
I would say this is like the first record we had for Bodega. This is like the first one that you got a verse in for,
Okay. So this was the kickoff as far as like chronologically, like the first song that was probably done.
Yeah. This is like the first song that was like, this is the first beat I sent to Mykael. It's like, it's like the first record. So
Okay. So did that one come together pretty quickly, or was it?
It took some time between. Like Britton's verse came later, and then I really wanted a Paris verse on the project, and then Mykael just sent that in, and yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, bro. I would love to do a whole project with Paris. Like, I love him, like, in the way that he does and approaches music. He is someone that I respect very highly.
Writers Guild is my favorite track on the first project.
Yeah.
Like
and just a story how that Writers Guild came together. I heard that somewhere. You talking about just how that was created, and that just blew my mind. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, Mykael sent the acapella.
Yeah.
And then Paris like heard the record that we cooked up, and then he re-recorded the verses and like sent it back, and it was that.
Yeah, that's a crazy story, and yeah, the Writers Guild is one of my favorites off of Bodega 1. So let's never go back, and we round things off with Apocalypse.
I write a whole epistle. Them boys ain't even get a pot. Go find a holder pistol. Running the streets, avoiding shots like they gon' grow to miss you. Bullets rip through bone and tissue if the intent to take a life.
And that's featuring Zay, A3, and Alano Adon.
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like this is a big sleeper.
Yeah, 100%. But it's probably
because it's a big sleeper because where it's at in the lineup.
Yeah, for sure.
Got it.
But if
any top 95, tell them, bro.
The Apocalypse beat. This was like probably like the second or third beat I made for the project, and it was one of my personal favorites. I'm like, yo, this joint gotta go super crazy. And originally, this was at the top of the lineup of the album. Like, but we ended up swapping Joe Pesci, Apocalypse in terms of like where they were at. But I love this record. About my homie Zay is rapping on it. He could really just rap. Alano killed it. One of my favorite verses on the project. Mykael sent the A3 to joint, and he did the hook last minute. We also had another verse on here that got cut because the song was just too long.
Yeah.
This joint just got so much energy to it.
Got it. So this is one of those things where it's like one of the verses has to be last. It's almost like if you got a room full of like, it's kind of like one of those situations like with the USA team, like somebody's not gonna get any run. This past year happened to be Jason Tatum, so it's like maybe it shouldn't have been, maybe it should have been, I don't know. But like there's got to be somebody that's gonna have to come in towards the end, and I feel like Apocalypse is one of those ones that, like you said, it is because of the lineup, where it's at in the lineup. It's just after you've heard so much, it's just going to be kind of down there at the bottom. So, but I encourage people to really dig into that one, because it's a fantastic song for sure. But you mentioned Zay, and Zay has been he was on Poppy Store as well. So a brief introduction of who that is, because for me, like that's a new name for me.
Yeah. So Zay,
for me too. I mean,
Zay is one of my friends from my cousin Ray Alexis. He's from Massachusetts. And so he was collabing with my cousin a lot, like 2016, 2017. Okay. That was my introduction to him. He's not doing Christian rap. He's just rapping. Mm-hmm. I feel like God has put him heavy on my heart, within the last year, just to like call him up and like witness to him more and all that. We've hung out a couple times, but like, one of the last conversations we had, he called me, we were talking, and I got a chance to pray for him and all that stuff. And that's how Poppy Store verse came about. He already had the Apocalypse verse, but he's just a super slept on artist. He's not really that popping, but I feel like with his pen, he's really gifted. He could really rap with anybody on TDE or wherever. You know what I'm saying? So
that's up. Well, and that's like maybe a unsung thing about music and about just this being a form of ministry. Like, so many times artists collab with quote secular artists or people who aren't believers, people who have like legit like checkered past. I mean, we with Maverick City here recently, they've collabed and been on stages with people. A few people, Kurt Franklin been on Glorilla's project and things like that. Like, but I still believe that if you have the right heart behind why you're doing what you're doing. And sometimes it may look crazy to somebody on the outside, but like I was thinking about like the children of Israel when they're leaving Egypt. Like it sounds crazy on the outside to look at Moses striking a rock. It makes no sense. He didn't tell Aaron to do it. He didn't tell anybody else to. He told Moses to strike the rock. Yeah. So it's like there may be times that I may get pushback for it, but I do believe that there are times where God calls certain people and asks certain people to do things to on the outside it looks crazy. It can even look like sin. I'm just gonna be honest. Or it can look, or you can maybe find a scripture to make it look like sin. That's probably a better way of putting it.
Yeah. Like,
but go ahead.
I feel like if people heard Bodega Bams and they know him from prior and they heard him on this project and they seen him on this project, they wouldn't have the backstory to know like, yo, this guy really loves Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts.
God.
Facts.
So like that, these are just plays from God at the end of the day. Like it's just what he's doing, you know?
Yeah, that's dope. Mykael, you got anything to add as we we're gonna get ready to wrap up here?
Nah, I mean I agree, bro. I mean, there's certain collabs that I question, you know what I'm saying? But I think that when it comes to like what we've been doing, I feel like if we were quote unquote bigger, people would have an issue with like having Bodega Bams or whatever. But it's like, I think if people knew what we knew, it'd be a little different. You know what I'm saying? Like his like the heart change and things of that nature, and what we're actually just trying to do through the music, man. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed this. You know what I'm saying? Only God knows if there'll be a Bodega 3, but these first two have been nothing short of amazing.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of it. Obviously, I'm a big CHH fan. I got my CHH hoodie. It's like 170.
That's crazy.
170 albums throughout my listening of Christian hip hop for over 25 years, and I just made it spell CHH. And it's like CHH is important to me. That's why I wanted to do something like this, just to sometimes get the focus off of like the negative. Because a lot of times, like if something does happen, we get on it, the outlets want to start interviewing the people and they want to like figure out where the drama is and all that type of stuff, which is cool. Like there is a element of accountability that outlets can have, but at the same time, when we have great stuff like Bodega 2, when we have great stuff like a great year that somebody like 350 is having, the crazy streak that a No Big Deal is on, even like this, there's so much going on in CHH, but I don't think we spend nearly as much time as doing something like this, which is just sitting down and pouring over something that is awesome that's going on in our space versus just like being like an ambulance going for the next catastrophe so we can report on it. So I appreciate you guys being on here, and I appreciate you, DJ Mykael V, for hitting me up and wanting to be a part of Bodega Talk. It's just been fun. It's been fun. It feels like the fans are fans of Bodega, fans of Christian hip hop are enjoying like deep dives into our space like this.
Man, thank you, bro.
Yeah, thank you. I want to say too, man, like at the end of the day, we're just fans. Like I'm a fan of most of these guys that are on the project. Like when I first got saved, these were the only ministers I had. Like, I know Mykael could say the same for himself. Like the reason why this project is so different and special, like having a propaganda and a Braille on record with like Paris Chris and 350, like you don't see these names on the same track list, right? I mean, so like it's just a testament of like us, just like we're just fans of this culture, you know what I'm saying? And we just want to contribute. And yeah, it's really crazy, man. Like when I ain't had no pastor, I was listening to Swoop, you know what I'm saying? I'm listening to We Live as Kings, I'm listening to Dre, so it's like beautiful eulogy. So like having these guys on a project, man, like it really does, like it gives me chills all the time, like just to be a part of something like this. So
that's dope. And I feel the same way, just being able to cover it. I feel like, man, this is a dope honor. So I'm just trying to use the platform well. And I think you guys are definitely using your platform well. So we're gonna go ahead and let you guys go. So for my Holy Culture family, for all those all the fans of Bodega. Thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Bodega Talk. More to come. More to come. Any artists out there, if you want to sit down and chop it up about your particular verse, hit me up. The DMs are open. So with that being said, you guys have a blessed one. And until next time, peace in, confusion out, and be positive.
Hey, what's going on, positive people? Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. Make sure you like, share, and leave a comment below of your thoughts on this video. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Be positive, y'all.